In this second episodio, El Segundo, we're going to discuss perception. Perception, how it relates to you, and how you have to know how everyone is perceiving everything else. Now, in today's world, perception is not used in its total way. Be in it. Be in it. Yeah. Let me see. Perception is supposed to be you taking something in wholly with all the senses to understand it. However, perception nowadays are more or less just what you see. It's the production people put on so that you can perceive them based on what they are trying to show you. Perception would have to be another pillar in the gift of sight. That's the spread. Okay, no. Let's take a look. Perception is so imperative to your reader. You gotta understand perception. It's something that in today's place, we're just looking at people and just taking whatever they give us. So this first 3 bullet points is going to be what these basic perceptions are. The first would have to be the person knows the perception and embodies the perception accordingly. So much so that they are the perception. There's no more wrong. Yeah. Now this is, if you look at, we can use for example. Oh, be in it. Good job. Wow, girl. She's styling. It's all right. Todo bien. Yeah, it's all right. No malo, okay? Yeah, it's demasiado. No malo. We'll have to take, just name someone notable in historia. We ain't gotta go there. Let's name just some nameless monarch. Let's say he's a king. Now there's 2 perceptions that could be made of the king. Either he's an imbecile and he was being a child. He was given the role unequivocally simply because he was of blood. There's no honor to him. There's nothing that stands out about him. There's nothing that reflects a king. Pero he's king by nombre and by sangre, by name and by blood. Now you take another king, right? One who understands the role. People already perceive him as king. And it's ironic that we started with monarchies simply because of the fact that the whole idea of a monarchy is based on perception. People are only royal or celebrities if you treat them like it. Okay. Just like I said, Barbara. Hey, take what out of Barbara, okay? Okay. Merci beaucoup. Oh, no malo. Ale, Instagram. Favor, sempre isso. That's how we do on the beauty shop. People are not anything until you perceive them to be. Before we get back to before we get back, let's just take this tangent right here. That's the reason why someone like Beyonce can't go to normal places. It's porque y'all done put her so high and such a unicornio that the girl can't go outside. Y'all made it that way. Perception. You felt like she was bigger and better. She lived up to the perception. Now the perception and the embodiment is so fucking. Now you can't imagine her. You can't fathom her taking shit. You can't fathom her. Another Sandra. Oh no. When we shit, y'all, please. Go use your finger with the tissue. Go this way. Go that way around that booty hole. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Your booty hole be clean. We're going to come back to that tangent. But we going back to the king, okay? Like synonymous with Beyonce. You thought it wasn't better synonymous. The king knows the name that he was given. He knows the role he was given. So therefore, instead of not embodying the role, he's everything a king could be. And that's why they hail him as the king. That's why they perceive him to be royalty, perceive him to be greater than. It's because he has shown himself to be. Because you connect together. It's like we're like Avatar over here, maybe connected to the tree. That here be. That's the Lord. He told me, he said, you praying for Samson here, and me gonna bless you more. And then me gonna bless you down. Pero we back. That was the segue back to this tangent. Merci. You want to ask este? Okay. So, the two differences between the kings is not the particular title or the position. It's the way they behaved to reflect who they were. And that's what you have to realize. We say the first type of person knows the role that they are perceived to be, and they play it to the utmost. They embody it. No matter if it's all sides of the spectrum, whether it be evil, whether it be amazing, whether it be sweet, whether it be good girl, perception. Those people know the perception, they embody it. Then you have some people that know the perception and play the role. They're not embodying the role. They playing the role. And this is where people get confused. Embodying and playing the role is two different things spiritually. I told you, by the time that you get done with me, you're going to know the difference between salt and sugar. Azúcar y sal. You got to know. You got to know what is people's real vida and when they're pretending. They're not. So these people, and y'all know me hurting your feelings, but pero we got to hurt your feelings. Me got to let you know that if someone is just playing a role instead of embodying the role, that means that they're a manipulator because they're manipulating the image in which you see. No matter what they the image. this. My example is someone who plays the good guy. And cada categoria, in every category, on papel, these people cross the line. From what we can tell, is embodying their perception. They're the good guy. They are embodying it. They're doing things to be the good guy. Claro? Right. This is where that spiritual discernment and you using other senses in order to really truly understand perception comes into play. Thank you. Merci. Now, you say, Nazir, well, go on. What's the difference between a good man and a good man who's playing a role? That means if he cosplaying, y'all ain't never seen Comic-Con. Y'all ain't never been to Comic-Con. If cosplaying, that's the spiritual difference between somebody that embodying and somebody that's playing the role. The cosplay. How you know they cosplay? It's porque one me told you he's gonna be master. They're gonna be masterful manipulators. They're gonna look the role because that's what they slide back into. High five. Es muy bonito, tan bonito. Bueno, bien hecho. Somos closer de ti. So that since that is the facade that they slide back into, you got to use these other cuatro senses, the other four, to know exactly if they're embodying it or if they're cosplaying. Now, this good person, right? Claims they're a good person. They never gave you no weird feeling. Numero uno. See that intuition? Told y'all, me got y'all. You fuck with me. You fuck with she. Now we straight. No. No. They give you a feeling. And you feel it in your fucking bones. Like, this motherfucker ain't right. But nothing so far as you see. Porque me told you, since they're hiding behind this mask, they're cosplaying, it won't be something that you will be able to prove at first. You have to observe this. You have to be conscientious of how your stomach is feeling around this fool. You get butterflies? Did you know that butterflies truly mean that it's a familiar feeling and this is a scary, you already know what's scary to happen. For instance, you take, that's why I say feel like a roller coaster. You're on the roller coaster, getting up. Some people's stomach will already lurch on the way up. It'll already jump. Porque it already knows what it's going once it gets to the top. Some people, their stomach has to lurch first. It might be their first time. The first time, your stomach's always going to lurch in the moment. Sometimes it's not going to tell you at first because they don't know what's going on. It can kind of fathom it and quantify it in some ways. But it's still just taking it in just one area. You're going up this roller coaster, you take it in one sense. seeing it. When you real deal feel the depth and the perception of it, is as you're going up. You're feeling, your body's feeling how the resistance against gravity. You're starting to feel the difference in wind change. You're starting to hear the creaks and the creaks of the roller coaster. Okay. Hasta mi cuarto. Babe! You melting! Wait! This properly, you guys. Stay hydrated. Speaking of, you thought you was never parched. You should know that. Never parched. Where we at? Aquí. Estamos aquí on the roller coaster. We up. We go. We see. We feel. We hear. We can taste. Bueno. We can taste the difference. Maybe it's our lunch. We can taste it. And then you drop. Yeah, baby. Okay. This one's already done. So, next time you get around someone who claims they be a good guy and your stomach lurch, please know that is your first signal to know this motherfucker not right. It's not right. And you tell them, vaya con Dios. Go with God. Godspeed. Porque you gotta save yourself. You gotta start using your perception. The cosplaying this character is dangerous to so many others. Because you have people who cosplay with an agenda. You have people that cosplay with a secreto, a secret. You have people that cosplay to hide something. And you think, oh, a secret and hiding is on the same thing. Pero that's why you're aquí conmigo. It's because you didn't know that. Pero you know, ahora. With this cosplayer, this good guy, no matter how much they try to emanate and exude them embodying this cosplay, you're going to start to see creaks and cracks in this facade. And with that, they're able to discount your intuition, to discount your perception, to discount your discernment. Tell you it's not what it is. You know why? Porque they're going to roll back to that cosplay and they tell you that is not even that's not even on brand with what we do. That's not even know who me am. That's not even historically what me stood for. So that's the reason why a lot of y'all are blinded and unable to see the truth. It's porque you're just looking at whatever they present you. That's the reason why America didn't know that Joe Biden was, or what me feel like, me just gonna say it, me feel like Joe been dead, and they just got another person cosplaying. Pero that's me deep diving, rabbit holing. Me told you me would only give you things to bring you closer and strengthen your relationship with the Lord personally. Pero two, so that it's researchable, so that you know that me not just sitting here making wild accusations and not telling you the truth. So we just gonna go with that's the reason why America as a whole Miguel did not realize that something was wrong with Joe. Me guess that's why America as a whole was surprised when one of the most famous familiars had someone go from man to woman. That was such a big surprise to everyone outside of the people that knew. Clásico, gracias. Gloria a Dios, gracias, child. Another ejemplo of embodiment versus cosplay. This person, famous family, famous reality show. They went out their way to either distract you, or give you such a skewed perception. You didn't know truly what was going on. They flooded you with so much stupid information. They flooded you with such just oversharing just the mundane information. You thought you knew these folks. So if you knew these folks so well, you watched them for 15 años, right? 15 years. You watched these folks. And then him being a woman one day, just, how did we not know? They knew. You look at interviews, they talk about how growing up, they'd catch them in their mother's clothes. They'd catch him in lipstick. They'd catch him saying things. His wife said he had been told her. His first wife told her. She had been known. So that goes back to me and him blow up. People will play the role in order to keep the facade, in order to keep the perception ironclad, iron tight. High five, gal. Futuristic. That's it. Take care of mommy, love you. You the bestest baby in the whole mundo. Yeah, bestest baby. Finita. Mi carina. Mi toro, mi corazón, mi chica grande. Gracias, merci beaucoup. This mom was cosplaying as her Ross Clark husband. Ay, santo arramo un poco. He had y'all so. This is the classic example of perception masterclass. If you do it right, he knew that he had to look and be a certain way. So they only showed you a little paradigm, a little small vision that they had curated for you to feel like that you knew everything when you knew nothing. Then you were blindsided. Then you were trying to figure out, well, shit, when they saw him with the ponytail, y'all told me the man was just being wild, young, and free. Like he was going through not emotional. He going through midlife crisis. All this time, this man was growing out his hair just so he would not have to get a wig. That's how powerful perception is. That's why you need to know your perception. You're either going to play against it or work with it. 3-0. See your thought. Pero you thought wrong. Y'all know me like you. You know me like you. So, the third person. We got the embodiment. We got the cosplayer. And we got the viewer. Or someone that's the unaware. We're going to say viewer/unaware. That's for people, the mass majority, that do not feel with all the senses. See, with all the senses, someone right. Pero, since this person was actively in that perception, You kept telling me was wrong, me was crazy. Then when this perception was broken, now it's, damn, how come we didn't realize? How come we didn't know? We saw this man every day. That's why we have to work on perception as the third person, as the viewer, as the unaware. What do people see you as? That's the key. Yeah, you got a bed. What the hell you doing to my baby? Me pick me gal. She don't do makeup. Yoki. Miss Kamara, shut up. Yoki. Do I put makeup on you, gal? No. Do my baby hair. Gal, me was watching Kamara's Fast Life, and me just been living. Santo. Like, she had a babysitter. She sent them little motherfuckers to school. But this girl with me, cada dia, todos los días, 24/7. No, me don't get no iron. No, me get no peace. Yeah, she's in the bathroom with me caca. Yeah, she in the shower. When me sleep. When me wake up. You know who wake me up? She do. Good morning, Mama. So, as a viewer, you gotta know, what role do people see you in? Do you want to change it? Or do you want to maintain it and be like? Do people see you as a villain? Better be the best villain you can be. Let me tell you shit on the next. Why do you think that Mojo Jojo had them fire-ass bullets? Why do you think him had them fire-ass bullets? Give me Scarlet Witch. Fire-ass bullets. You better live up to the villain. You better dress up to be villain. You encompass that role. You embody it. You the sweet gal. That's another masterclass in perception. You're thinking this. That's why everyone automatically puts those polars together. Porque they see the good girl is known. It's supposed to be this good guy, right? When she don't reflect that, you're a bad guy. You don't look like what you do. That perception is key. Pero they don't do that with men. They don't say, hey, you are a good boy, but really you bad. They don't say that. That's why a lot of women be like, I was with a good guy. What happened? What won? Z, what you mean? He was not a good guy. He was cosplaying. Or intersex. She was not a good gal. She was cosplaying. They still do that. That's the reason why. That's probably going to be a mid-tray episode. You're romancing the seduction. You're romancing the cosplay. Like, people cosplaying, not the embodiment. These people are not performing to the full embodiment of the perception. They're only doing, when you cosplay, you do the bare minimum or the best minimum of that perception to be perceived as so. That's why a lot of people nowadays are not together with their significant other and have kids. It's porque this person they fell for was a perception cosplay. They cosplayed being one way, and then they couldn't live up to the hype. And then when people can't live up to the hype, that's when they attack you for seeing the truth. Because you're not playing it clever. You're not playing into the cosplay. You're not. You're like, bro, you're not Superman. Superman wear lycra. You soon can say, like, you don't wear Skims. He don't wear Forever 21 tights. Shout out Forever 21, because you know you got Mira. Gal. Santo. Pero we back. So, it's imperative that you know your role and you decide to embody it fully. But you gotta know if you're cosplaying. You gotta know that your time, when it don't matter how long you cosplay, it's going to be up. Because somewhere along the lines, you've been leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. Baby, that's what's okay. You've been leaving a trail of breadcrumbs of you not being who the fuck you say you are. And over time, those breadcrumbs are going to form into a loaf. And that loaf is going to show that you are not who you say you are. Bien hecho. Bueno. Mom's still working. So that's where we're going to leave you with that thought. Is perception is the key to reality. Oh! Gloria a Dio. Ya no. Me did want to include this. You want to know how people view you. And this is one of many exercises that you can do to hone in on your perception. Wherever you're at, look out. Can you imagine yourself standing across from you? Good. You can. No. Now, can you be an intro? No. Yeah, be an intro. Can you imagine you looking at yourself as a student person, for exact copy, exact replica, standing in front of your head? And can you imagine standing in that spot now, looking at yourself? When you're able to step outside of you, your purview, and the way you see things, to stand outside on an unbiased plateau, on an unbiased ground. Can you stand outside and truly see how people see you? Are you going to work towards that and embody it? Or are you just going to be an observer? Porque they're trying to tell you, for those who are cosplaying of perception, the perception cosplayers, that's dead. That's why videos such as this, one shot, you see everything, you see the vulnerabilities, you see all the things that you normally wouldn't see are so popular. Porque you feel like you're getting all of, even if it's a curated section, you still feel like it's real and more genuine than someone who spent hours editing. Because then they omitted something they didn't like. Because then they built it just for you, so you would perceive it and treat it as such. May even take you on further. When people see me out in the wild, and you might. And if you see us, say hola, you know. If I pass it, I'll Yeah, gracias. You'll see, and not just because me have me. Here's your Pedro. You know you got a little space. Me little roars, me little roll, me roll me TRs and Ds. There you go. That was a tangent. See. People look at me and they be like, damn, that right there. And this is an astute, ancient, powerful goddess. No, no necesita, todo bien. Now, me cosplaying? Hell no. That's how me live. That's how me live, y'all. That's how me live. You think me celestial? That's how me live. Me not cosplaying. Me the embodiment. Me the role. Me on paper. Me in real life will not disappoint. You won't be like, damn, that's just a... No. Mi energía so fucking poderosa. Me ain't got to say nothing. You'll feel me before you come in the building. You know how they know that me perception and me embodiment is true. It's porque me just don't live it. And me just don't exude it. And me just don't maintain it. And me just don't play into it. Me. It comes out of every one of my senses. Every one of my senses exude the characteristics that me fill me up. And that's why I need a physical embodiment of them. So, the reason why me perception and how folks see me as to be such a celestial high priestess, queen, seraphim, cualquier cosa in between is porque this. They feel it with every single one of their senses. When they see me, they tell me they already felt me before they see me. They just wanted to feel, they just came towards the energy to see who was the one holding it. So that's what me say. The embodiment. It's true. It's not no facade. We're not cosplaying. None about me is cosplaying. Not me here, not me jury, not me Vera, not me child. Because whatever you try to say me on, the Lord blessed her so much so that she literally is me multiplied. And when the Lord make a choice, it means that the first time he most definitely said what the fuck he said. Because he only said stuff once. So that's where we're going to leave you. Is from now on, when you look at people, places, teams, ideas, if you don't feel that embodiment wholly throughout your whole senses, you're cosplaying. That's a cosplay. You know it's going to hurt your feelings that a lot of teams are cosplay, but then it's only going to open your corazon, your heart to the people fully embodiment and embody it. So, we're going to take this time to say gracias. We hope you love. Yeah, because we're going to love us regardless.